presentation of the Spartan Media Network.
It's time for the Robyn Fralick Show.
A pass across the floor, intercepted by Tate. She's on the deck. She got rid of it somehow from the floor to join her. She gives it up to Kimball in transition. She'll drive up under the scoop. It falls and one. Everything is green and white tonight here at the Breslin Center. Unbelievable.
The Robyn Fralick Show is presented by Diversified Insurance Group. Whether it's home, auto, life, or business insurance, Diversified Insurance Group has the coverage you need to stay ahead of the game. The Robyn Fralick Show is also brought to you by One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. Meijer, the official grocer of Michigan State Athletics. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartan Athletics. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. The Munn Team, Jan and John Munn at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Tommy Raines Realtors, realtors that get results. The MSU Federal Credit Union. Spartan fans dream big with MSU Federal Credit Union. And by Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment. Choose chill. Now, with head coach Robyn Fralick, here's the voice of Michigan State women's basketball, Dalton Shetler.
Hello, all, and welcome to the Coach Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. We are live at One North Kitchen and Bar in East Lansing. If you want to join our audience for any of the MSU Coaches shows, make your reservation by emailing coachesshow@onenorthdining.com. And we have the star of the show here with us today, the head coach for Michigan State women's basketball, Robyn Fralick. Give everybody a nice hand to Robyn Fralick. Robyn, how are we doing today?
Doing great.
Doing great.
Yeah, it was a fun Sunday at the Breslin yesterday.
I was going to say, coming off the heels of an 80-68 win over Washington, you and I were just talking a couple of moments ago, and we'll get into the game, but macro level, surface level, that's a gritty, gutty win over a tough Washington squad.
Yeah, it was a great win. We felt like Washington was one of the hottest teams in the league. They'd won 5 in a row, and watching them on film, they were really good, very efficient, very smart, make a ton of shots. So we knew coming in we were going to have to play smart. We were going to have to grind it out. And I thought our team did a really good job of beating a very, very good Washington team.
And now the Spartans are 13-3 for the season, 3-2 in Big Ten play. And get this, 9-0 at home for the season. Won the last 2 games. Yeah, clap it up. Way to protect home court. And last season, you ended with 2 straight home wins to finish that year. So it's 11 straight home wins at the Breslin Center for Michigan State women's basketball. You got to go back 337 days for the last time there was a loss in that building for the green and white. I mean, there's something really to this home court advantage.
That's because we got the best fans and we got the best voice of the Spartans right here. But we do. I mean, you guys make Breslin a really, really fun place to play. So let's keep that rolling through the year.
And somebody who's really been productive inside the walls, Grace VanSlooten's in the building. She'll be joining us up here in a little bit as well. Coming off a monster double-double, 19 points, 12 rebounds. We'll talk about her a little bit more in depth in a moment. But we're going to be having some fun. We'll break down what just happened. Also let you know the Spartans got 2 games on the road coming up next, so we're going to have to shift attention quickly. We'll do that a little bit later on in the show. This is the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. You're on the Spartan Media Network.
On the court, the MSU women's basketball team shows us the power of teamwork and dedication. Off the court, Diversified Insurance Group brings that same commitment to protecting what matters most. As an official partner of Michigan State University Athletics, we're proud to stand with the Spartans. Whether it's home, auto, life, or business insurance, Diversified Insurance Group has the coverage you need to stay ahead of the game. Personalized solutions just like a perfectly executed play. Visit WeDigInsurance.com today and let's win together on and off the court. Go green, go white, go MSU women's basketball.
Sometimes we're asked if you need to be a Spartan to be a member of Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. The answer is no. To be an MSU FCU member, you just need 3 things. 1, you love saving money and earning cash back. 2, you have a passion for supporting your community, just like we do. 3, when it comes to your future, you prefer to dream big. If this sounds like you, visit msufcu.org to get started. Of course, if you want to cheer on MSU, we're totally on board with that too. Go green.
Hey, got one more, Labatt?
Yeah, here you go.
Yo, got one more?
Sure. Who are you?
Have any more?
I'll take one.
Got another Labatt?
Got one more? How did you all get in my house?
Dude, door was open. Heard you had some Labatt.
Yeah, in the fridge.
Crack some Labatt, make some friends, and see where it takes you.
Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. All rights reserved. Labatt registered U.S. trademark of Labatt Brewing Company Limited.
30 seconds.
Is a game changer. And when the doctors you know and trust team up with one of the nation's top health systems, the possibilities are endless. Sparrow is now University of Michigan Health Sparrow. So together, we can bring more specialized expertise, more of the latest treatments, and more of the best possible care closer to you.
10 seconds.
Discover what's possible at uofmhealthsparrow.org.
Back to 1 North in 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back to the Coach Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. Whether moves across town or across the nation, the MUN team can help. Whether you're in the market to buy, sell, or both, check out the MUN team online at munteam.com. Jan and John Munn, serving buyers and sellers since 1985. They're realtors who get results. All right, Robyn, we were just talking about Michigan State's big win over Washington yesterday, 80-68. This was a bit of an interesting game. If you were there with us, you got to see it unfold. Washington starts out on a 10-2 run. Michigan State counters right back, and then throughout most of that middle 20 minutes, for lack of better term, it just was blow for blow, exchanging leads, and then finally your team got in front and held on to it to the very end.
It was a great basketball game. A slow start. We had too many turnovers to start the game, and they capitalized. And we knew coming in, I mean, they've been one of the most efficient teams in the Big Ten. They make a lot of shots. They make a lot of hard shots. But we knew their team, you got to stick with it. We knew it was going to be a tough game. We knew it was going to be a close game. That's okay. But we had to make sure that we really maximized our possessions and made things consistently tough for them. And I thought our defense, in particular in the half court, was really, really good against a team that's hard to guard and runs a lot of really challenging actions. I thought our team was dialed in and pressured them and got them out of some things they wanted. They went to a lot of iso ball, which isn't really how they play. So I thought our defensive effort really propelled us to the win yesterday.
That's a really good point. And you talked about, too, maybe a little bit of a slow start and then the flurry right back. I believe our main man, Colin Eccles, actually highlighted that for our broadcast call of the week.
The broadcast call of the week comes from the Spartans' 80-68 win over the Washington Huskies on Sunday. Down 10-2 early in the first quarter, MSU put together a momentum-turning 7-0 run to close the Husky lead to a single point. Here's the voice of Spartan women's basketball, Dalton Shetler.
Baseline out of bounds. They immediately find VanSlooten. Feed her, and she'll bank one off the glass. It's now 10-4 Washington. Flips to Hampton. Far side Sotelo. High post VanSlooten. She looks to drive on Daniels. Shot fake. Gets it to fall. Grace VanSlooten with a quick 4 off the bench. And it's now 10-6 Washington. 5:35 to play in this first quarter. MSU brings it across. Hampton left wing. Angles her way in. Kick out. Shoemate. Right corner. 3. Missed it off the front side of the rim. But Grace VanSlooten gets an extra rebound. Out to Hampton for 3. Bring it up. Nyla Hampton steps up and hits a triple from right down the middle. And it's a 1-point ball game. 10-9 Washington leads a 7-0 Spartan run.
Grace VanSlooten finished with a 19-point, 12-rebound double-double that included this layup to give the Green and White a 9-point lead in the opening minute of the fourth quarter.
So the Spartans have it up 7, 9:15 to play. Inbound VanSlooten absolutely shook everybody out of their shoes and dropped in 2. Everybody lost her, and she's got 17. MSU leads 61-52.
What a big game it was for Grace VanSlooten. Yeah, clap it up. 19 points, 12 rebounds. It was the third double-double she's had in the green and white. And, I mean, right from the word jump, when she stepped on the floor, you could feel the game change.
Yeah, when she came in, we really got a lot of momentum. She did a good job of getting some, I don't want to call them easy baskets, but points in the paint and getting us extra possessions, offensive rebounds. I thought that got us a lot of momentum too. So I think she had 5 offensive rebounds in the game. And when we're doing that and winning the possession battle, good things happen.
Well, you said to me after the game that you said to Grace, if we played the telephone game all the way around now, that you said to her that was the best game you think she's had in the green and white so far.
Yeah, it was the best overall game. Making good decisions, playing with great effort defensively. We asked her to guard all over the court yesterday. Their team that, their 4-player plays in space, their 5-player, they're tricky. And we asked her to pretty much guard everybody at different times. And so just her impact on both sides of the ball was critical and necessary and very helpful in the Spartan victory.
I was going to say defensively, 2 steals and a block for Grace as well, just
Yep.
all over the floor. There are a couple other individuals that I think we need to highlight. Julia Ayrault, 19 points, 9 rebounds in this game. She really just hit some clutch buckets when you needed them, found a way, and that's kind of what you expect out of your captain.
She did. I loved her mid-range bank shot. That was a big basket, and they all count the same. And she had a really good baseline drive, too, that really took the margin of the game and made our lead more comfortable. And same thing, both sides of the ball, rebounding the ball at a high level. She's such a unique player in that she's a tough matchup. She can play in so many spots on the court. And continues to make big baskets.
One of the team stats, before we highlight a couple more individuals, I wanted to mention here, 20 turnovers forced against Washington.
Yep.
They came in 3rd best in the Big Ten, if memory serves right, only coughing it up 12 times a game in league play. That Washington, they've been playing so well as of late. Their numbers are better in conference than they were in the non-conference. Yep. Like, that's how much better they've been playing as of late with that 5-game win streak. But they were only coughing it up 12 times. You forced 20 turnovers. I imagine that was a reason to be proud as a staff and team.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a huge part of the success last night. I mean, we came into the game knowing Washington is really precise. I mean, they lost to UCLA by 10. They beat Illinois at Illinois. Like, they had been playing really, really good basketball because they were just so efficient. They took great shots. They got the shots they want. They take care of the basketball. And I thought our pressure, a lot of times we get it in the full court. Against Washington, we got in the half court, and we needed to because they have a lot of ball handlers and a lot of shooters, and we were able to pressure them out of what they were comfortable. And I always say good offense is rhythm, right? And good defense takes away rhythm. And I thought our defense yesterday really took away their rhythm.
Rebounds, too. It's funny when you read the scouting report, it feels like there's always a slash that says rebounding.
Oh, yeah.
But sometimes you can feel maybe it's a more emphasized. It felt emphasized heading into Washington, and you won that one 32-28.
Well, heading into Washington, they're number 1 in the league in offensive rebounds, and a big part of it is they take predictable shots, and they shoot a lot of threes, and their whole team does a good job of scooping up rebounds. And I thought especially when our lead extended, we kept them to 1 shot. That was big. We made them take a tough shot, and we kept them to 1 shot.
I did want to get back to a couple individuals. Jocelyn Tate, she had 8 points in this game. I mean, she played well offensively, but what she did on defense, it's. I asked you in the postgame, I don't know how you define it for listeners, like especially if you can't see it, it's hard to describe, but her effort really swayed the game at times in that 4th quarter.
I thought her on-ball defense changed the game because her on-ball defense became so disruptive, and this was even earlier than the 4th quarter, that it gets everybody else more aggressive, right? When we see our on-ball defender really bothering the ball handler and really just setting the tone, all of a sudden everybody else takes to that and gets more aggressive in it. She did that for us in that game. Their point guard's really good, Sellers. She made a lot of tough shots. And I thought Jocelyn she made it tough on her, and that got our whole team going.
And we said earlier during the broadcast, Tate is contagious because you could just feel the energy kind of reverb throughout the team.
Yep.
I did also want to mention here, too, offensively, Ines Sotelo, Theron Halleck each got in the double figures. They both had 11 points. But, Robyn, we talked afterwards here, too, and you said the way the ball moved in this game, that's Michigan State basketball. And it's different than what we saw in the game against Nebraska. And you got back to what you wanted. And I asked you, is it just as simple as going out and doing it, or is there something complex to it? And you said, no, it's pretty much as simple as just go out and execute. Go swing the ball.
Yeah, well, we came out of the Nebraska game, and it was clear that was a problem. That was a part of why we lost. So I think you've got to change things, right? And that's something we knew we could change. We'd been doing it better in practice than in games. And Coach Dean did some numbers for us in the first half against Nebraska. In our possessions, we averaged 2 passes a possession, which isn't, I can probably still guard 2 passes, right? I can't guard 4 or 5, but I could probably guard 2. And then in the second half, we averaged a little over 4. And in the second half, we were a much better team. And so it's not complicated. And yesterday, I thought we finally really took to it. And you know what? The game's so much easier. It's so much more fun. There's so much more rhythm. Your spacing's better. That you get better shots. You get easier shots. Such an important part of good offense is shot quality. And you get shot quality with spacing and ball movement. And yesterday, we took a big step in that. So I can't over congratulate them because sometimes we'll rest on it. We still have to get better at it. But yesterday, I thought it was a huge part of us playing better.
Well, you mentioned it's fun for the team and everybody when that's happening. It's fun for the fans too, is it not? There in the Breslin Center, and the ball gets moving like that. Absolutely. And the Spartans, again, we mentioned big win over Washington, 80-68. They moved to 3-2 in Big Ten play. When we come back, we're actually going to be inviting Grace VanSlooten to join us on stage. We'll get to know Grace a little bit more in a moment. Raise hope and foster dreams by starting your journey to becoming a foster parent today. Visit michigan.gov/hope for a home to learn more on how you can support children of all ages in your community. We're live from Lansing with the head coach of the Spartans, Robyn Fralick. Our show's presented by Diversified Insurance Group. You are listening to the Robyn Fralick Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
The U.S. is experiencing the worst blood shortage we've seen in 20 years. Give blood this season, and you can help save up to 3 lives each time. Join me and Abbott so we can save more lives together. Let's make Spartan Nation the #1 blood donor in the Big Ten.
Heard you had some Labatt.
Yeah, in the fridge.
Crack some Labatt, make some friends, and see where it takes you.
Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. All rights reserved. Labatt registered U.S. trade market. Labatt Brewing Company Limited.
When you're a foster parent, you play a lot of roles.
Provider, giving a foster child a safe home, healthy meals, and hope.
You're always there.
You're a cheerleader.
Your family. You would do anything for a child in your care.
Every day is different. Every need is different. But one of the most impactful roles you can play in life is being a foster parent. See why at michigan.gov/hope for a home. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
At the Capital Region International Airport,
30 seconds.
Our community to the world with nonstop service to Washington, D.C. and Chicago on American Airlines, Detroit on Delta Airlines, and beginning October 2nd to Orlando and Fort Myers on Breeze Airways. When you fly Lansing, you're just one stop from over 500 global destinations.
And with direct flights to Cancun, Punta Cana, and Montego Bay starting in January, your escape to beautiful tropical beaches is easier than ever. The Capital Region International Airport, your gateway to the world. Visit flylansing.com for more information and to book your flight today.
10 seconds. 2, 1, go.
We are back live on the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. Unlock cash back on every purchase with MSU FCU's Cash Back Plus, an exclusive benefit for MSU FCU members. You'll learn big on your daily spending, only at MSU Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of Spartan Athletics. And before we get to the fanfare of the upcoming segment, I do want to remind everybody that the Abood Law Firm Beyond the Arc campaign benefits the Greater Lansing Food Bank, donating $25 for each three-pointer made by the MSU women's basketball team and, of course, the men as well. The women's basketball team has hit 113 threes to this point of the season. The men have hit 90, and so with 203 threes made, it's $5,075 going to the Greater Lansing Food Bank. Excellent stuff being done there by the Abood Law Firm. All right, everybody, help me in welcoming our next guest. Wearing jersey number 14, the junior from Toledo, Ohio, 6'3", Grace VanSlooten. Give it up for Grace, everybody. Grace, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Grace, I don't know if your teammates gave you a heads up, but do you know how these shows start?
I do.
You do? Okay, so you're ready. Have you practiced?
A little bit.
A little bit, okay. All right, so the number to beat right now is 22. Julia Ayrault got 22. Jocelyn Tate sneakily ended up with 21. She wasn't feeling very confident, but had a nice round. So what we do for anybody who's new to the game, we put 60 seconds on the clock. The clock will start as soon as we finish asking the first question. Rapid-fire questions are all about you. So nobody else has the answer key. If something is maybe a little bit outside the lines of the truth, that's okay. We play on. But we just keep throwing questions at you for 60 seconds. If you don't know an answer, you can pass.
Okay.
All right? All right. We've got 60 seconds ready to go. Grace, are you ready to go?
I think so.
All right. We will begin. I would be rich if I had $1 every time Robyn said blank.
Rebound.
Favorite athlete?
LeBron James.
You could have a superpower. What would it be?
Flying.
What's your most used emoji?
The laughing crying.
You have to sing karaoke. What song do you pick?
Fast car.
Favorite drill at practice?
Nance.
Can have dinner with one person in the world. Who would it be?
LeBron.
Traveler or homebody?
Homebody.
Would you rather get a bucket or a block?
A bucket.
Go-to coffee order?
Vanilla latte.
Surprising item on your bucket list?
Skydiving.
What toppings are on your ideal pizza?
Pepperoni.
What's your favorite animal?
A tiger.
Favorite movie?
The Notebook.
Best dancer on the team?
Jocelyn.
Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Christmas.
Cat or dog person?
Cat.
Favorite musical artist?
Noah Khan.
You can only eat one thing the rest of your life. What is it?
Pizza.
If you weren't playing basketball, what would you be playing?
Soccer.
Biggest hobby?
Reading.
Favorite sports team?
The Golden State Warriors.
Favorite way to spend a day off?
Sleeping.
Favorite song?
Time!
But Gracer ends up getting the record. 23.
Let's go!
Let's go. You were rocking it.
How about it? Grace VanSlooten, 23. Look at you. Just a natural.
I guess.
Robyn, that was electrifying.
That was fast. Yeah. Yeah, decisive.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Grace VanSlooten. Obviously, a lot of people have gotten to see her this year, right? Front and center. Second leading scorer on the team, 13.7 points per game. She's averaging 7.5 rebounds per game. Our associate head coach, Kim Cameron, who's our wonderful MC for trivia in between breaks, mentioned that she's the leading shot blocker for the Spartans with 19 on the campaign. The versatility that Grace has and offers to your team, Robyn, how would you describe it?
You nailed it, right? Versatile, fast, athletic. You know, I think coming off of last season, we knew we needed more. We need to be a little more physical, especially inside, a little bit more physical at the rim. And Grace absolutely provides that on both sides of the basketball. Our rebounding's gotten a lot better. Her ability to guard so many different positions has gotten better, and her ability to get us some buckets in the paint. Right, we knew that was important for our team. So Grace has been a wonderful addition on the court and then off the court as well. Hard worker, team first. Loves Michigan State. We love her, so it's been a really good fit.
Well, and Grace, you heard your head coach earlier say that yesterday was the best game you've probably had overall in the green and white. What was going through? What was working for you so well? And what did you make of that performance you had in a third double-double in the green and white?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important part was that I was having a lot of fun. I think when I'm on the boards and getting rebounds, I think that kind of gets me going. So I think I need to focus on that a little bit. But yeah, I mean, really had a lot of fun. A lot of shout-outs to my teammates for getting me the ball where I want it. But yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of fun.
I also love, too, because Grace actually did a podcast that we'll reference a couple of times with Mark Schindler, who does a great job covering women's basketball and, of course, is a Spartan alum as well. So take note of that, Michigan State fans. But at one point during it, Grace talked about how competitive she was. You just saw during the 1 Mo minute. She's pretty competitive, Robyn.
She is. She is. I feel like you practiced. You were ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. A little bit.
Undersell, over-deliver.
That's
Words
right.
to live by.
That's right. Yeah. Grace is a great competitor, I think, and we see that every day in practice. She's serious about the game. She's serious about getting better. And we talk a lot about, like, being a competitor is a huge part of this, right? When the ball goes up, you have to feel something. And Grace definitely brings that to our team.
Grace, if we take you back to this summer, of course, and for some of the listeners who may not know, Grace was at Oregon before she came here. When the transfer portal opens up and you decide to go into it, What made you decide on Michigan State? What led you that direction, and how did it all shape out?
I think first and foremost, Coach Fralick was my first text, my first call, everything like that. So I think that really stood out to me. And then, we got a visit scheduled real quick, and I loved my visit. I loved all the girls on the team. Just kind of clicked with them right away, and, showed me what great a culture is here at Michigan State, and I think that was really important to me. And then another thing is just being closer to home. I've absolutely loved that, able to shoot home on a weekend or go to my younger sister's games. It's really meant a lot to me.
Well, you mentioned on that podcast with Mark Schindler, you were actually jogging to Home Depot when Fralick called you to get boxes to pack things up from Oregon.
I was.
What was it like where you're holding boxes and you're taking the phone call?
Yeah, I mean, I knew I had to take it. I knew it was an important call, so I paused everything else.
Well, Robyn, for that to be you to be the first one to contact Grace when the portal opens up, you obviously knew what you wanted.
Yep.
You saw something you wanted. What was it?
Every year you come out of a season and you've got to evaluate your team and what you need, what's going to be important to get better. And we knew for us to take another level, as I shared earlier, was a real physical presence, inside, both offensively and defensively. And we'd been fortunate. I coached at Bowling Green. Grace was from Toledo, so I had known of her, obviously, for a long time. When I was at Bowling Green, we didn't recruit her because she wasn't going to come to Bowling Green, but we knew her, and we knew her family, and we just knew what a good fit it would be on and off the court. So, she was very coveted. She had a lot of phone calls, so we were very glad that she chose Michigan State.
Well, you bring up the Ohio roots. Actually, Grace, you ended up meeting Robyn and the staff in your freshman year of high school at a Bowling Green shootout.
She doesn't remember it as well as we do. But we for sure went and introduced ourselves. And I actually spent a lot of time with her dad because he was at the shoot-around, so I got to hang out with him for a while. I mean, you never know how the world works out, so I'm glad that we did get a chance to spend a little time with Grace, and I did get some good time with her dad.
What do you remember of it?
Like she said, I don't remember much. I remember playing a couple one-on-one games, and that's about it.
Well, you left an impression on the staff, and that's certainly came full circle since. But you mentioned being closer to your family. This is important, too, I think, for listeners who may not be aware. Grace obviously was on the other coast playing at Oregon for the first 2 years of her collegiate career. But in high school, she was playing at IMG Academy down in Florida. Mm-hmm. So it's been some time since Grace has been back around family and home. What's that been like, just to have a support system just down the road for you?
Yeah, it's been amazing. My dad has been able to make it to every single game, minus Nebraska. His flight got delayed, so he didn't make it to that one, but he tried. So he's been at every game. My mom's been at every home game. I mean, it just means so much to look over in the stands and see them because they haven't been able to do that. And, like I said, going home on a weekend, my mom came up and decorated my apartment for Christmas. So, yeah, it just means a lot to, only be a couple hours from home.
Well, and I believe you've mentioned before, I think actually on that podcast, that your mom bedazzles things.
Yes,
and,
she does.
She was very excited to bedazzle some Grace merch for the games.
Oh, yeah, I know. As soon as I committed, she got on eBay looking for anything that is sparkly. So.
Oh, gotta love it. Robyn, what's it been like having the VanSlootens around?
I love it. I mean, I think Grace nailed it when she gets to share this with us, with you, with our fans and her family. I mean, I think that's such a special time. I think I have little ones, and so often people are always talking about, well, when you play in college, right? So it's this thing you've been working for, and then when you get here, you want to be able to share it, right? You want to be able to share it with people you love. You want to be able to share it with people who've really helped you along the way. And I think for Grace, she was away for a while, so I think her appreciation of having her family so close and so supportive, of being able to grab dinner after the game, that's what it's about, and be able to share in the highs, the lows, all the stuff. So we're thankful they're in the stands cheering with all their bedazzled gear.
That is certainly terrific. I do want to ask a couple more questions and point out to our listeners, Grace VanSlooten has played 78 collegiate basketball games. She already has 1,093 career points. She hit 1,000 when we were out in Palm Springs at the Acrisure Invitational. And clap it up. Congratulate Grace VanSlooten on an incredible milestone. Again, in just 78 games. Have you ever seen anybody that quick, Robyn? 78.
I think Juju.
Yeah, well, yeah. Anybody you coach.
Oh, no. I thought you meant in the world. No, that's fast. That's doing it really quickly.
Well, and it's kind of a funny thing I do with word association. Whenever I hear Grace's name now, I almost picture the locker room photo of her where she was doused by water with her teammates.
Yes.
And her hair's all wet, and she's standing in front of the board that says 1,000.
Yeah, it was
what,
cool.
What was it like to celebrate with your teammates?
It was a lot of fun. I've never experienced anything like that, and I think it just shows how much they care. We all really care a lot about each other. We all want each other to succeed, so I think it was really fun. It was really cold, so.
And it came in a championship effort, right?
Yeah.
So that's excellent stuff being done there. I do want to ask you a couple more questions before we get you out of here. One more really with basketball here at Michigan State. On that podcast, you had referenced and talked a little bit about wanting to develop individually, and you really liked what this program did in terms of player development. And I think anybody who's able to sneak around the walls of the Breslin Center will see Dean Lockwood and Grace VanSlooten somewhere working on a floor. What's it been like working with Dean and working on your own development?
It's been really fun. Obviously, I think he knows exactly what he's talking about. He knows what I need to work on, and I'm going to trust him. He has, quite impressive history. So, I trust him with everything he says, and he's always in the gym, just committed to getting players better. And I think that helps me stay motivated as well.
That's pretty special. Now, away from Michigan State, Grace VanSlooten actually sports in her career accolades 2 gold medals with Team USA. You want to tell us a little bit about those 2 gold medals? Yeah, clap it up for Grace.
A really fun experience. Went to Argentina and then Madrid, Spain. Just being able to kind of travel the world with USA basketball is really fun. It's kind of a blessing. Really grateful for the opportunity. Just getting to wear USA across your chest, it's an unbelievable feeling. And obviously winning those 2 gold medals is indescribable.
Robyn, another fun fact about Grace is that she can juggle. Have you seen this?
Not yet.
Well, it's talent show time after
maybe
practice.
Talent show at practice today.
Let's do it.
What can you juggle?
Anything.
Wow. Can you juggle basketballs?
That sounds like a challenge. I feel like we need to
All
get
right.
some apples or something and see what Grace can do here.
Yeah, next road trip, we're going to have a talent show for sure.
Where did you learn this?
I taught myself with 3 pairs of socks.
Really?
Yeah.
How old?
I think I was probably around 8 or 9. I don't know, growing up with 4 other siblings, you got to kind of, sometimes make fun on your own. So I just decided one day to teach myself. And
You looked
picked
around
it up.
the room and said, there's some socks.
Yeah,
I
3
bet
pairs
they
of socks.
float.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I do want to
Can you
ask.
teach other people? Could you teach me?
If you want, I can try.
Okay.
You got to have the skill level.
This
is Fair enough.
Very good. I love this as a content idea, though. I think everybody's going to need to keep their eyes peeled for the juggling.
I don't know. I haven't tried.
Before we get you all out of here, Grace, I wanted to ask you because, we talk about you get into the transfer portal, you pick Michigan State. What is it in the time from when you made that decision to now that you've learned about Michigan State that you really love? What has left an everlasting impression on you about this place?
I think what comes to mind is the people. I think the people make the place, and I just couldn't say enough good things about everybody here. They're all so down to earth. I think that some of my teammates and everything has really helped me kind of find myself and, really be happy here. So I would say first and foremost, definitely the people.
Robyn, I'll offer you the last word because we've talked about the excellence of Grace VanSlooten on the floor, and it's obvious, right? When you step in the gym, I remember the first time at practice during the summer, seeing Grace in there, it was like, oh, that's a tall, mobile body.
Yes.
Like you could see the talent immediately, but the person she is really special.
Oh, low maintenance, high performance. We talk about that a lot. That's what we look for in recruits is gives to the team, hard worker. One of my favorite things, I was just thinking this when you were sharing, is that when Grace does something really good in practice, Coach Kaz starts singing Amazing Grace. So that's been fun, too. We try to get her to laugh. We try to get her to laugh every now and then.
I was going to say, I don't know about my singing ability, or else that might make its way on a radio broadcast. But maybe we can record Kaz. That might be the best way forward.
Yeah.
Everybody, hit.
Let's go.
Yeah, here and there, 5 of 6 for the free throw line.
The whole team did, too. That was important. Because Washington only missed 1, and it was the last one. I was like, I actually at one point was like, are they going to miss a free throw? And then actually, I think I heard Coach Kaz behind me. She goes, they finally missed.
They made their first 18. It was
Yeah.
pretty incredible what they were doing for the line.
Yep.
But everybody, join me in thanking Grace VanSlooten for joining us here on stage. Thank you so much, Grace. We'll be back with more from the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. You are on the Spartan Media Network.
Hey Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to hospitality. Or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Shows and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
From the biggest of big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No, first base!
Go, go, go!
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
At the Capital Region International Airport, we connect our community to the world with nonstop service to Washington, D.C. and Chicago on American Airlines, Detroit on Delta Airlines, and beginning October 2nd to Orlando and Fort Myers on Breeze Airways. When you fly Lansing, you're just one stop from over 500 global destinations.
And with direct flights to Cancun, Punta Cana, and Montego Bay starting in January, your escape to beautiful tropical beaches is easier than ever. The Capital Region International Airport, your gateway to the world. Visit flylansing.com for more information and to book your flight today.
Our lives are a collection of experiences.
Seconds.
From fender benders and soggy basements to great joy and growing families. Sometimes life is unplanned. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security
Seconds.
to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Back to One North in 3, 2, 1, go.
Thanks for joining us for the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. Our show today comes to you live from One North Kitchen and Bar, located at Abbott and Saginaw in East Lansing. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. All right, let's get to our trivia question. Again, we have a microphone situated just on the other end of this table, if everybody could see it in-house. Come up if you think you have the answer. Let us know, and you could win a couple of tickets. As this week's Alumni Hall Spartan Women's Basketball Trivia Ticket Giveaway winner gets tickets to a MSU home game. You'll pick up your tickets at the Alumni Hall retail location at Eastwood Town Center in Lansing. Our question this week. All right, follow here. Michigan State beat Washington. It was the third ever meeting between the schools yesterday, 80-68. That gives the Spartans a 2-1 series lead. The last time they met was in 2009. Michigan State beat Washington 69-52. Who led the green and white in points and rebounds with a double-double in the win over Washington back in 2009? And a hint, she was there in the building yesterday for Alumni Day that we still will talk about here in a little bit. She was in the building for that one. But back in 2009, who led in points and rebounds against Washington? She had 13 points, 11 rebounds, and wore jersey number 30 for one extra hint. And we'll see who comes up and see if they get a couple of tickets. Robyn, in the meantime, we actually were just laughing a little bit during the commercial break. Over at the staff table here in-house, the unofficial mascot it's turned into of Michigan State women's basketball, Cash, is here in the building. This team has really been able to rally around the young guy, Cash.
Baby Cash, say hi, buddy. Yeah, he is our team MVP, mascot, superstar. I think he makes the Jumbotron every home game, too. Yeah. Everybody, he's almost 6 months old, and he has been an amazing addition to the team.
Hey, you know, as we go as far as unofficial mascots, your daughter Clara's been one of the unofficial mascots of Michigan State women's basketball, and she had her first ever basketball game. Cash didn't like the shout out. He's now crying in the back of the restaurant. But Clara, your daughter, had her first ever 5-on-5 basketball game. And the entire Michigan State women's basketball team was there to support Clara at this game, a youth-level basketball game. Take us through what that was like.
Oh gosh, you guys, I mean, is there a better day in the life of an 8-year-old girl than the entire team coming out to support you? And so she had kind of she was with me at practice that morning because Tim and Will had a basketball tournament. So she was with me, and she got maybe a little bit of wind of they might come. And then all of a sudden she got really nervous and, Mom, are they coming? I don't want them to come. I'm like, I don't know. They might be coming. They might not. I was trying to distract her. And then, they got there once she was playing, and, they all took over. And it was actually packed house. So they were on the baseline because there was nowhere else to sit. We had every aunt, grandma, cousin. Everybody was there tuning into the second and third grade girls basketball game. And, she made a bucket, and they all went wild. I mean, she ran down the court. She couldn't even hide it. She was just beaming. And they were cheering for everybody. So, I mean, what a treat, and what a way to give back. And we got lunch afterwards, and I said, Clara, oh my gosh, you were smiling so big. And she looks at me with full sincerity and goes, Mom, how could you not smile? So as a mom, I mean, what a special moment for an 8-year-old. They made her signs like, you don't need wishes when you're all swishes, right? And she has them all in her room. I mean, and I remind our team all the time, I see them all the time through the eyes of an 8-year-old girl. And they have a real opportunity, and they really have a real responsibility to give back in that. And that Saturday, they gave back to Claire, but they gave back to a lot of girls who one day might want to be just like them. So that was really special.
It's so neat. And before we get to our trivia answer here in a second, I do want to mention, too, because we haven't really had an opportunity to bring this up anywhere. Not that I was eavesdropping at all, but I heard, like, when we went out to Palm Springs in West Palm Beach, the tournament directors out there came up to staff members and said, your kids all say, please, thank you. They handle themselves the best out of anybody here. We really appreciate how well your student athletes behave when they're here. And I thought that was a really neat thing to kind of have be said about your program and to have them share.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, when we checked in, there were a lot of teams at this tournament on the men's and women's side. And he said, your team is the only team that has all said thank you, because we got, some food and our keys and all these things. And I thought, well, I'm really proud. And I also thought, oh my gosh, we probably need to, that's something that we got to, at least in our program, we talk a lot about manners matter. So it was good to see that come to life in real life situations.
Yeah, it was really neat, and I thought should be shared with everybody. Let's go to our trivia now. Our question again, who led the Green and White in points and rebounds with a double-double in the win over Washington back in 2009? We have our first answer coming. You want to let everybody know your name, where you're from?
I'm Doug from East Lansing.
Doug from East Lansing. What's your answer?
Well, I would have guessed Kalisha Keene, but I think she was 32, so I'm going to guess LaKendra Johnson.
And Doug's got it. LaKendra Johnson led the way. Congratulations, Doug. You get 2 good tickets in. Great answer. Good work, Doug. Really appreciate it. Yeah, LaKendra Johnson, of course, was Defensive Player of the Year and a Big Ten champ. 2011, she won Defensive Player of the Year. 2nd all-time leading rebounder in Michigan State women's basketball history. 15th leading scorer. Whether it's home, auto, life, or business insurance, Diversified Insurance Group has the coverage you need to stay ahead of the game. Personalized solutions just like a perfectly executed play. Visit WeDigInsurance.com today, and let's win together on and off the court. The Robyn Fralick Show is presented by Diversified Insurance Group. We'll be back with more after a break here on the Spartan Media Network.
Sometimes we're asked if you need to be a Spartan to be a member of Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. The answer is no. To be an MSU FCU member, you just need 3 things. 1, you love saving money and earning cash back. 2, you have a passion for supporting your community, just like we do. 3, when it comes to your future, you prefer to dream big. If this sounds like you, visit msufcu.org to get started. Of course, if you want to cheer on MSU, we're totally on board with that too. Go green.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill, because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Skill is a game changer.
And when the doctors you know and trust team up with one of the nation's top health systems, the possibilities are endless. Sparrow is now University of Michigan Health Sparrow. So together, we can bring more specialized expertise, more of the latest treatments, and more of the best possible care closer to you. Discover what's possible at uofmhealthsparrow.org.
When you're a foster parent,
30 seconds.
you play a lot of roles.
Provider, giving a foster child a safe home, healthy meals, and hope.
You're always there.
You're a cheerleader. Your family. You would do anything for a child in your care.
Every day is different. Every need is different. But one of the most impactful roles you can play in life is being a foster
10
parent.
seconds.
See why at michigan.gov/hope for a home. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Back to 1 North in 3, 2, 1, go.
Diversified Insurance Group presents the Robyn Fralick Show. Whenever you shop Meijer, you shop for your entire community. Help support food rescue programs and the Simply Give program. Learn more at Meijer.com. All right, as always, the show seems to accelerate, and we have a couple things we still need to squeeze in here, but we're running a little bit lower on time. But while we have a moment, Robyn, I want to go back to yesterday because it was Alumni Day for Michigan State women's basketball. Several alums come back. They were recognized. They were honored. Had a great moment to interact with so many former players in the green and white.
Well, Coach Weimer told me that there were 233 tickets for the alum between coming back and all their family members. So a great showing. Something we feel really proud of is the tradition of this program. So many great players, so many great coaches have come before us, and they'll come after us. And, you know, we're just grateful to be part of it. But it was fun to hear all of the generations of stories yesterday, from, you know, really pre-Title IX to Big Ten titles to national championship game runs. It was a really special day for our program and for us as a staff to get that time.
Yeah, it's always great whenever the alums come back. But at the end of the first quarter, too, it was recognized as the 20-year anniversary of the 2005 squad that made it as national runner-ups to the Final Four in Indianapolis. You have some pretty vivid memories of that team.
Yeah, I was at both those games. So I grew up playing. I was AAU teammates with Kristen Haney and Lindsey Bowen. And at the time, Julie Pagel, we always called her Pagel. So we all grew up playing together. So when they made that run, that was obviously I was really tuned in because they were people I knew well and had grown up playing with, and was at the game when they beat Coach Dean in Tennessee. Had to throw that out there.
Big thumb down
and
from
then
Dean.
Also at the Baylor game. And, I mean, you know, if you think about it, if you can really zoom out the context of perspective, making a national championship game is incredible. I mean, we understand how hard that is, how high a level of basketball you have to play, and to have so many of them back yesterday with their families and being able to share that with them was really special. And I can't believe it's already been 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty insane.
Don't blink.
By the way, yeah, no kidding. And Dean just shouted from the back that it's starting to heal a little bit better. It's still a little sore. Of course, Dean Lockwood was a long-tenured assistant under Pat Summitt with Tennessee women's basketball and Tennessee men's basketball before coming to Michigan State. When we come back, we'll talk about the pair of road trips coming up for Michigan State women's basketball in the week ahead. Big B Coffee is a proud supporter of Michigan State basketball. Visit your Mid-Michigan Big B Coffee location today. We are live with the head coach of the Spartans, Robyn Fralick. Today's show is presented by Diversified Insurance Group. You're listening to the Robyn Fralick Show.
I found hope in the midst of an overwhelming situation.
Alcoholism is a disease that can affect any family. Everyone suffers, but there is help and hope at Al-Anon Family Groups.
Al-Anon gave me my life back. I'm a better father and husband.
Are you in an overwhelming situation because of someone else's drinking? Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Local and virtual meetings are available. Maybe one could work for you. Call 1-866-200-0033 or visit alanon.org/hope.
Hey Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Shows and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
From the biggest of big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No, first base!
Go, go, go!
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
At first, credit card debt can seem harmless, like a cute little baby goat.
Dad!
But let it get out of control,
30 seconds.
and your debt goes wild, and that is anything but cute. Tame your debt with Rocket Mortgage. Tap into your home's equity and get funds in a matter of days. Just visit tameyourdebt.com. Call 1-800-407-3944 for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states, NMLSconsumeraccess.org, number 3030.
10 seconds. Back to One North in 3, 2, 1, go.
We are back with more Spartan women's basketball on the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by Diversified Insurance Group. All right, for Michigan State women's basketball, we mentioned it is a week ahead with 2 road trips. First, heading out to Piscataway, New Jersey to take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, and then a trip to Champaign, Illinois. And we talked, and really, you take a lot of pride in defending home court, Robyn, but now you got to turn into road warriors this week.
Yep. We definitely do. Rutgers, their leading scorer just returned. She'd been out a few games, so she returned yesterday against Nebraska and dropped 33 points. And so they're a unique team. It was funny. I was talking this morning with Coach Dean and Maria, who were in the hallway, of like, we couldn't probably play a more polar opposite team going from Washington to Rutgers, just style of play, just stylistically, like just so very, very different. So present a new matchup, and, we'll have a few days to get ready.
Well, and it's interesting you say that because you mentioned Washington. What makes them so hard to guard is they share the ball. They really work through their sets. Rutgers, stylistically, again, you mentioned the one-on-one aspect. Kiami McMiller, who is their star player, she missed games against USC and Minnesota. She had the 33 points against Nebraska out of Rutgers' 62 scored in that game. But she also took 28 of Rutgers' 62 shots in that game. So she takes about half the shots. She scores about half the points. It's just very independently focused. It's a different style.
Yeah, it is. And they play a lot in transition, very aggressive defensively. Like, you really have to be tough with the ball, very, very physical. A little bit of chaos, which, we kind of play with that a little bit too. So, we'll have a few days to get ready, but obviously a very different type of matchup.
And it's interesting, too, because they've been competitive in some of these games. They're still looking for their first Big Ten win. They're 8-9 on the year, but they only lost by 2 at Madison, I believe. So they've been competitive. And then Illinois, they got bit by the injury bug in a bad way, but they're still fighting through some stuff. They lose Makaira Cook and they lose Dolan, who are very talented players on their team, but they're still a really competent and tough squad to beat.
Yeah, and they just had a big win against Iowa, so it's what makes the Big Ten fun. You can enjoy it for about a second, and then you got to get ready for the next one.
And as we said, 2 big road games coming up. We'll promote those a little bit more and talk about them a little bit more in depth when we come back. Frankly, you'll want to join us for the Michigan Sports Brief every weekday on Spartan Media Network radio stations across Michigan, presented by Frankenmuth Insurance. Find your local independent agent at fmins.com. We'll be back with more from Coach Fralick. You're on the Spartan Media Network.
On the court, the MSU women's basketball team shows us the power of teamwork and dedication. Off the court, Diversified Insurance Group brings that same commitment to protecting what matters most. As an official partner of Michigan State University Athletics, we're proud to stand with the Spartans. Whether it's home, auto, life, or business insurance, Diversified Insurance Group has the coverage you need to stay ahead of the game. Personalized solutions just like a perfectly executed play. Visit WeDigInsurance.com today and let's win together on and off the court. Go green, go white, go MSU women's basketball.
From the biggest of big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No, first base!
Go, go, go!
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street, you're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Sometimes we're asked if you need to be a Spartan to be a member of Michigan State University Federal Credit Union. The answer is no. To be an MSU FCU member, you just need three things. 1. You love saving money and earning cash back. 2. You have a passion for supporting your community, just like we do. 3. When it comes to your future, you prefer to dream big. If this sounds like you, visit msufcu.org to get started. Of course, if you want to cheer on MSU, we're totally on board with that too. Go green!
Our lives are
30
a collection
seconds.
of experiences, from fender benders and soggy basements to great joy and growing families. Sometimes life is unplanned. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
To one north in 3, 2, 1, go.
Thanks for joining us and the Spartans fans here at One North for the Robyn Fralick Show, presented by the Diversified Insurance Group. All right, before we close out shop and get out of here, couple of reminders. First off, that the game Wednesday at Rutgers, that's a 7 o'clock tip. We'll be taking the air at 6:45. We will be on WVFN 7:30 a.m. if you're in town, or of course you can always listen on the computer on your phone. MSUSpartans.com/watch for the radio broadcast. The game on Sunday at Illinois, that one will be tipping off at 3, and we'll be taking the air at 2:45, same station. Next Robyn Fralick Show will be next Monday, January 20th. That one will be at noon as well. But, Robyn, we talked about the week ahead for Michigan State women's basketball. You go to Rutgers, you go to Illinois. What do you want to see from your team as you get ready to try and keep the momentum going from what you just had in a big win over Washington on the road in these two games?
Well, when we guard, when we really have a good mentality around our defense, especially with this particular team, about kind of dialing in and feeling really passionate about that, and then continuing to move the ball. Those are two things that we feel like no matter where you play, no matter if it's hot, cold, morning, night, that we can do. So we got to keep doing those things.
And it's going to be fun to see that all come together. Some thank yous on the way out the door. Big thank you to One North Kitchen and Bar. Big thank you to the managers, the entire wait staff, owners, the Bermans. Big thanks on the video side, Tony LaBarbera. Huge thanks to Pete Menez. Of course, a big thanks to the women's basketball staff, Mo Rosati, Abby Knack for all their help, Kara Fisher, Kim Cameron, our MC, back in the studio. Today we have Tim Daniel. Big thanks to Grace VanSlooten as well. Big thank you to all of you who joined us here, tuned on from afar and abroad. Till next time, so long. Go green.
You've been listening
And you're clear.
to the Fralick Show on the Spartan Media Network from Play Fly Sports.
Thank you, sir.
The Robyn Fralick Show has been presented
outta
by
here. Take care,
Diversified
ma'am.
Insurance Group. Whether it's home, auto, life, or business insurance, Diversified Insurance Group has the coverage you need to stay ahead of the game. The Robyn Fralick Show was also brought to you by Meijer, the official grocer of Michigan State Athletics. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. Coors Light, Mountain Cold Refreshment. Choose Chill, the MSU Federal Credit Union. Spartan fans dream big with MSU Federal Credit Union. The Munn Team, Jan and John Munn at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. Tommy Raines Realtors, realtors that get results. And by Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartan Athletics. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. The Robyn Fralick Show has been a presentation of Play Fly Sports in partnership with Michigan State Athletics. All rights reserved. Join us next time right here on the Spartan Media Network.